Okay, so to clarify, which is something they like us to do, my dyspractice refers to when I stop trying to pass off as a highly functional neurotypical for a little bit and make off-kilter weird performances that I like to call weird seances. Look like that. I'm thinking a lot about how this dyspractice can be also put to use in what I call the extended universe of my weird seances, by which I mean a workshop leading dyspractice, an outreach dyspractice, a writing dyspractice, a presentation giving dyspractice, all the stuff a performance dyspractitioner has to do in these times to maintain their performance making dyspractice. I wonder who might allow or support this. Is that clear? Because that's my main thing that this is about. After this thing's point, might get a bit messy, and that's all part of my dyspractice. So, for example, something I often say in my dyspractice is that there may be times where you feel uncomfortable with what's being asked of you, and if that happens, I want you to think to yourself, what is it that you're doing in here and in here that is stopping yourself feeling uncomfortable with it, and then just carry on. Any questions? For example, you can ask me if I could just talk a bit more about what I mean, like precisely, like specifically about what a dyspractice is. And I can clarify it by saying that my friend Katie Baird, she said to me that my other friend Brian Lobel said about, that she was talking to Brian Lobel about me, and Katie said that what Brian said was, you know, I think Daniel Oliver is probably the only white straight male artist whose work I actually like. And then Brian Lobel said, yeah, that's because Daniel Oliver is a fucking weirdo. And on the other hand, there's people like educational consultant Sharon Drew, who says that dyspraxic people can have difficulties participating, which can lead to an apparent unwillingness to join in or making contributions that do not seem relevant. I hope that's clear. This is your bit now. Yeah. So a dyspractitioner is a weirdo who embraces their own and others' unwillingness and or apparent irrelevancy when it comes to joining in. So what I'm asking you, like not you, but pretending you are like a facilitator, like a producer or a funder and so on, like a conference organizer or someone who gets people to put on workshops, is like, can you help support an extended universe dyspractice? Can you facilitate a dyspraxic approach to facilitation? Like I'm the facilitator, like I'm facilitating people to be that in that extended universe that I facilitate in my facilitating stuff dyspractice. And if you are like the Live Art Development Agency doing their DIY projects, then you are like, yeah, sure, we can facilitate you doing your dyspraxic facilitation. And if you are like the Awkward Bastards 2 conference, then you are like, yeah, sure, come and do a dyspraxic presentation. And if you are an organisation that I will not name, talking about your outreach projects and about sending artists into schools at an event about participation that I went to in about 2010, you definitely say, and I quote, when an artist hasn't got great facilitation skills, we backfill them with people who are actually really great at facilitation. And I worry that my facilitation dyspractice gets backfilled by someone who is actually really great at facilitation. Maybe you want an example of my facilitation dyspractice. Well, let me facilitate something right now, a little exercise in a workshop you've come to, a warm-up that I use to transition myself from the place I am now, not Birmingham, but like in here and in here, to the place of my dyspractice. By which I mean not switching something on, but switching something off, i.e. silencing that little domesticating agent in the head and the body that facilitates passing as a highly functional neurotypical, and instead just going it like max dyspraxia. It goes like this, and it's very simple. It's just a word and a series of actions. Just follow them very, very closely, okay? So the word, it's like a chant, it's transformational, and it goes like this, and you can join in. It goes like this. I'm changing. I'm changing. And then notice that's your cue there. Oh. But because I've gone max dyspraxia, I've completely fucked up the time management of the presentation. And I haven't had time to complete it, and what would have happened by this point would that we'd be naked, having gone through something transformational together, all shouting, I'm changing. Like all of us starkers, awkward bastards, just shouting, we're changing. And I'd go, look at this. This is something I facilitated. You know, I can do this for schools or something. Or alternatively, it would just be me without any clothes on, and you'd just sort of be sat there smiling or shrugging a little bit or tutting or maybe a sort of, what the fuck? And that would also be great. But either way, I definitely would not need backfilling.